Welcome to another connection here on TKO8 Television. Dennis King, thanks for joining us on the show this week. Each week we come in with different organizations and individuals from those groups to talk about what should be important to you, what's going on around our viewing area. We cover about 5 or 6 counties, so there's a lot of things going on. We have some great organizations that deal with people and also have great services for those in need. Stay with us. Be back in a moment. We're going to talk with 2 gentlemen from one of those great organizations that help a lot of people on Connection.
The Townhouse Cafe in downtown Harrison is offering a great reason to wake up on Saturday mornings. Their incredible brunch. Starting at 7 a.m., you can enjoy all of your traditional breakfast favorites or some of these decadent dishes. Eggs Benedict, featuring an English muffin topped with ham, 2 eggs, made any way you like, and topped with fresh-made hollandaise sauce. Plus, you'll also get your choice of hash browns or home fries. Perhaps something even more delectable. Townhouse Cafe's fabulous U.S. farm-raised butterfly trout grilled with a drizzle of hollandaise sauce, 2 eggs any way you like, hash browns or home fries, and either a biscuit or toast on the side. Absolutely delicious. Saturday brunch at the Townhouse Cafe in downtown Harrison.
Back on Connection here on TKO8 Television. Our first 2 guests on the show today comes to us from Hospice House. Jerry Jackson and Ari Britt, thank you both for coming in. Ari, thank you for coming in for the first time. We haven't met. Jerry thought you'd been, but I think he brought some lovely women with him every time, and he didn't say much about you. But anyway, Jerry, we're not going to throw you on the bus right now, okay? We'll be all right. You've got a campaign going, but before we get into the campaign, we would like to talk a little bit about Hospice House and maybe kind of how it got started, when, and then you've gone through a phase where you actually expanded the Hospice House, and it's a wonderful place, touches a lot of lives. So, kind of.
Well, you know, how I got started is very interesting. That was actually a little pre-Ari. In 2005, Catherine Nance came to see me and said, we need a hospice house. And I had been on the hospice board prior to that, so I had a little understanding of the need. And she pounded on my desk, and you know Catherine, she's going to get what she wants. Right. And she said, get one. I'm going to Colorado. By the time I get back, I want you to have a plan. Here's some guys. So we thought we could build a little, I was affiliated with Larry Davis building a few little houses, and she thought we could build something for around $70,000. So, you know, we took a look at it, and the next thing you know, the college jumps on board, and it's printed in the paper, and one of our great supporters drops us a big check, and it looks like we're off and running. Little did we know that $70,000 house became nearly $500,000. After we built what ended up to be a small hospital. And that was the first, that was the only one of its kind probably in the entire nation to be that small. And behind the walls you would see things that weren't exposed because we tried to make it a real homey thing. Sure. And then after that, Ari got involved.
And at that point in time we decided that 4 bedrooms is not enough. Right. So that's when we began our expansion. I'd like to mention one thing, though. We talk about the hospice house, but really it's home hospice is as big or bigger than the hospice house. Sure. So we're really encompassing both of it. Of course, Jerry and I's passion happens to be for the house because we've spent so much time and energy keeping that up, building it first, and then keeping it up. So, but it is a hospice in general, and then the hospice house. So,
well, and that's true. I wasn't skirting the fact that Hospice of the Hills, as a lot of people know, is actually a hospice program, in conjunction with NARMC. Is that correct?
Absolutely. So we partner with them. They are the medical suppliers, and then we are the end that. we supply some financial support primarily for people that can't pay for hospice care or do not have Medicare or private insurance.
Obviously, if you have the space at the house, or if you just have the necessity for care, I know you don't turn anybody down. Obviously, if you want to help everyone,
Absolutely,
if they have the financial means or insurance, obviously you utilize that like any other medical services. But if they don't, there's been a lot of stories about.
Yeah, nobody's been turned down, and about 95% of the costs there go through Medicare.
Right.
And then there's a couple of percent in private insurance, about 3% maybe we take care of.
Right.
But when you get involved in some of those cases, they can be very costly, and they have been in the past. So it's required quite a bit of money to take care of those things. And then we got involved in the expansion. I think Ari was a big player in that.
Right.
We did that. I guess we opened that in
A couple of years ago.
Couple, maybe 3 years ago now, and it was again, it was one of these where we thought that it was going to be a certain amount of money, and then the time we started building it and meeting medical codes and state codes, and it turned out to be, well, we got a little over $1 million in that expansion. So that facility's there where it's not really very big. We got $1.5 million in that. So
if I remember right, and correct me, Jerry, if I'm wrong, but you added about 5,000 square feet. Was that the additional part of it? Does that make sense? It was a pretty big.
Yeah, the upstairs is probably 5,000 total.
Okay.
And then we have a lower level that takes care of office, and a lot of the hospice people that work out in the field, they office down below.
Sure. Yeah. I guess I should say, I mean, obviously all this has been done through donations. And are you paid off?
100% donations, and we are paid off.
Wow.
Thank goodness. Yeah, and it's allowed us to do a lot more for patient care and for things around the house that it's needed and the staff needs to take care of the patients properly. So it's a blessing.
I don't want to put you on the spot, and if you don't know the answer, that's okay. But just for the public viewing, how many people would you or have you touched? Do you have any idea?
Somebody asked us that the other day. It has been thousands.
Right.
And I think that's how we answered it. Because we know how many are in the program every month locally times 10 years, and that's how long the house has been built. Hospice of the Hills locally goes back to 1992.
Right.
But just going back 10 years, literally thousands. I don't know if it's 2,000 or 4,000, but it's somewhere in that.
I would assume.
It's been thousands of people have been in Hospice of the Hills
either
program.
home care or in the house.
In the house. Literally in the house, we can tell you there's been thousands.
Wow.
Yeah.
Before we get into, then we want to talk about your fundraising campaign, which has a catchy phrase to it, which I like a lot. As far as volunteers or a wish list or a needs, is there always something, or what if you were going to ask the public to help? How could they help?
Well, there has to be by regulations. There has to be a certain amount of volunteer help per paid staff, which is the hospital, the hospice staff. So we have to have volunteers, and we do have. Thankfully, we have volunteers that do everything from set with the patients, to make quilts, to make Care Bears, to maintain some of the grounds. So we had a wonderful group of volunteers that help us. So,
what about supplies, or is there anything that people, if maybe they can't volunteer, maybe they can't afford to give money or much money, is there anything as far as non-monetary type that they could donate? Maybe I'm just asking.
There is, but we really, it kind of depends on what the hospital, the medical staff needs, and that changes from time to time. But you kind of led into what people can't give much money. That's the very essence of our campaign.
Well, and let's get in.
That's kind of a segue right into
that's
what.
That's very good. It's called 20 is Plenty, and so I'll let Jerry kind of kick off with how'd you come up with it and where have you been?
It's interesting how we came up with it, because when we decided to build a hospice house, we told the hospital that this group, this board, we would do all we could that it wouldn't be an extra cost to them.
Okay.
And that meant that patients, what we were really thinking of, Dennis, was patients that could not pay for themselves. We would take care of that. And we really didn't even know how much that would be. But then 1 month after the hospice house was open, we had a patient that required a special type of pain medication, and it was not covered by Medicare. And that pain medication over a 2-day period was $24,000. And we scrapped every penny together that we could just to get the house open. We actually had a variance from the state health department on putting in a generator because we didn't have the money. They allowed us to put together an evacuation plan instead of buying a generator. So when we opened that house, we were flat broke.
Okay.
And then 1 month later, we're faced with a cost of $24,000. And then out of the blue came 20 is Plenty.
Okay.
And man, when it hit the ground, you remember 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Ari and I were talking about that because, you know, like all the fundraisers, they kind of go down a little, or we have a whole lot more people in town needing money. So 20 is Plenty has decreased in the giving over years. But those first couple of years, I couldn't walk a half a block without having a couple of people hand me $20. It was, we raised that first couple of years over $100,000 in the 20 is Plenty, and we really, really needed it then.
That's fantastic.
So that's how it came about, and every year we continue. It's actually our only fundraiser throughout the year.
And now it runs from, do you kind of have a time frame?
Yeah, it's usually in September, October. We're going to have that final day, October 6th, where we're going to have an all-day radiothon like we always do, and Ari kind of is in charge of that. But and it starts right about now. So we have about 30 days that leads up to the final day. All we're asking people to do is give $20.
That's fantastic.
So if people will respond with $20 gifts one time a year to Hospice of the Hills, we can do some great things.
If
You
somebody,
begin to see the marquees in the town right now, 20 is
yeah, I've
Plenty.
seen
So
some
you're
of them.
beginning to see
If
those.
somebody wants to give, how do they do it? What's the best?
They can give in a couple of ways.
Okay.
The one we have throughout town is call 365-2020.
Okay.
And that puts them into a line that tells them where to mail a check and things like that. The second way is they can go to our website, hospiceofthehills.com, and we have a little donate button. Now, the third way is something a little different this year. I have an office across from McDonald's, and we have jugs in there. So they can stop by our office and put in $20.
Any one of those three ways.
Any one of those three.
And P.O. Box 2020.
So
we kept it simple.
catchy, so everybody
P.O.
remembers.
Box 2020.
Everything's built around 20.
Well, I must say it's a very catchy campaign, and again a modest amount that you're asking for. So it's not like some campaigns, you know, they're all, everybody shoots for the sky, but some of them start high and then kind of wind up going back down. You're starting down here, and if somebody wants to give 100 or 1,000 or 20,
I think Ari talks about that more than anything.
We certainly appreciate that too.
Probably 90% of the gifts that come in are $20.
that's great.
But
Yeah.
The people that give the bigger numbers really help us get some things done. But those $20 are so important.
It's a great campaign. We've run out of time. It's great to talk to you two guys. You obviously got the energy that you've always had, and the drive and the support mechanism to keep the program alive, and many hours and personal time that you put into it. And so thank you from the public and from all of us.
And we thank you for having us.
And we appreciate it, and
Dennis.
continue. We hope you raise more than you ever have with the 20 is Plenty.
We're going to.
And we'll keep going, keep plugging out there. Don't forget, 20 is Plenty campaign going right now for Hospice of the Hills and Hospice House. $20 is not a whole lot, and it goes a long way when you're talking about helping people in need. We appreciate Jerry and Ari both for coming in today, and good luck with your campaign. Stay with us. Be back in a moment. We're going to talk with a young lady about another campaign that's going on, likewise much needed in the community. Stay with us on Connection.
Sullivan Pharmacy has been serving your prescription needs for over 40 years. Our professional staff is glad to assist you with prescriptions, over-the-counter medicines, and healthcare products. Stop by Sullivan Pharmacy if you have questions about Medicare Part D, and we'll be glad to help. If you're in a hurry, use our convenient drive-through window so you don't have to get out of your car. Sullivan Pharmacy, 731 North Main Street in Harrison, helping you feel better since 1965.
Many things have changed over the years, and so has auto body repair. Even though Ozark Auto Body has been in business for over 30 years, they continue to change with the times. They believe protecting the environment is important and have done so by using environmentally friendly waterborne paint from PPG. This aligns with the technology used by original manufacturers and gives you a lifetime limited warranty. Quality PPG waterborne paint, ASC certified personnel, plus 24-hour towing service. Ozark Auto Body in Harrison, always taking pride in excellence. Back on Connection here on TKO8 Television. Dennis King, thanks for joining us on the Connection Show this week. Our next guest in the studio, I've known for many, many years. I've dealt with Marcia Carter at the North Arkansas Regional Medical Center. She is now a part of Clay Maxey Motorsports and Ford combined. And Clay Maxey, along with Arvest Bank, is the host sponsor for this year's event to raise money for a big cause. Putting in the pink. Marcia, thank you. You've got your pink on today.
I do. You know, I didn't even think about that.
You mean that was an accident?
It was.
I thought you dressed
it. I want to thank you so much for having us here today, Dennis.
You're quite welcome.
Thank you.
This actually is the third year that they're having this big golf tournament event, and we're going to call it an event because it's more than just a golf tournament. And your first year to actually be putting this thing together, and it's a big chore to put an event together. Let's maybe go kind of revert back a little bit. I know when Clay Maxey, who I know real well, came here and started the Clay Maxey Ford, or bought the Ford place, that he wanted to do something locally that was big, that was important, and he got this kind of started, actually. I know Clay did, and Clay and his wife and family, and then Arvest jumped in with him because they needed more than just one major sponsor, and Arvest Bank got in there.
Yes.
How has it gone in the past couple of years?
It has been just amazing, Dennis. And, you know, cancer strikes everyone's family,
Yes.
and Clay is not immune to that. It has struck his family as well. And like you said, they just wanted to give back. And for over the last 2 years, we have been able to give the Claude Parish Cancer Center over $50,000. Wow. And we are so grateful to be able to do that. And, you know, visiting with John Burnside at Parti, it's easily understood how these funds help people with transportation to their treatments. It helps with wigs for the ladies who lose their hair, and men if they so desire as well. But you know, you can just never do enough for the cancer patient, and when it strikes your family, you realize that how deeply devastating it is. So we love to promote this fun event for people, and as much as the profits as we can go directly back into Parti, and we are so grateful to be able to do that. Like I said, over $50,000. The big event is going to be held the 23rd and the 24th of September. That's not this weekend, but the following weekend. However, on Friday, the 22nd, we do have a practice round, and that's going to start at 1 o'clock and go until about 5 o'clock. And we're going to have that evening gumbo on the deck at the country club, and we're going to have the Dan Benton band there entertaining. So that's going to be a great time. And then Saturday, everyone will check in at 8:30. Well, I'm sorry, the morning teams will check in at 8:30, and they'll go and play their 18 holes of golf. And then the evening crowd will check in at 1 o'clock, play their 18 holes of golf, and then we'll all come back together that evening, watch the Razorback game, have the Calcutta, and you might explain a little bit more about the Calcutta. I did bring one of our
you got
paddles,
a bidding paddle.
Yes, where you can bid at the Calcutta, and not being a golfer, I don't understand that quite as well as you do. So take it away, Dennis.
Well, and actually, just hold that paddle up there if you would. And what they do after your first day of play, you can see anyone, well, not anyone, actually every person who plays in the golf tournament will be issued a number. Like Marcia is number 57, and the Calcutta is where you take your first day's scores and you're anticipating, we won't use the word betting, anticipating that you're going to do better the second day of play than you are the first day of play. So it's kind of a gamble, if you will, that you're going to improve the next day because it actually only goes by that particular day. In other words, it doesn't do a combined scoring. But we'll have an auctioneer, and the auctioneer will bid it out just like you're doing an auction of any type of merchandise or whatever. And the highest bidder will hold up their number, and they'll put it in the computer, and then they settle up afterwards. And then after the second day's play, they go back, and depending on how much is in the group, they will take that money and they give, I don't know what's your percentage.
10%.
Okay. So 90% goes back to the people that are putting the money up, 10%, which doesn't cost anything as far as the organization putting on the tournament. It's an extra 10% that goes in for the Partai Foundation. So it's a great cause, but still you have an opportunity to get your money back and a lot more. So that's the way the Calcutta works.
That's wonderful, and it is very, very beneficial to us. And then on Sunday, again, they come back, 8:30 the morning crew, 1 o'clock the afternoon crew. They play 18 holes of golf again, and then we award the winners for the longest drive, closest to the pin, those sorts of things. Also, we have 2 opportunities for a hole-in-one on Saturday. One, you could win a Kawasaki UTV vehicle or a 2017 Ford. So we're excited about the opportunities for people. One of those is on hole number 5 and one is on hole number 14, which I understand they both prove very difficult. And then if you happen to be the winner, we have our award here that I brought today.
So cool.
It's something really new. It's printed on glass that you can sit on your desk or hang on your wall. It's a little different than anything that's ever been given before, and we're pretty proud of that.
That is very nice.
Yeah.
And actually, that type of an award, rather than a trophy, if you will, is much better because people, if you don't have an office, you can take it home and put it on the wall or put it up on your dresser or whatever.
Yes.
And where a lot of times trophies kind of get lost in the shuffle and gather dust, and that's about it. But I thought that a very nice concept for this year.
Thank you.
You know, and one thing we do want to mention, and since you were with NARMC for so many years and worked with John Burnside and all the staff over there, we don't want to downplay the emphasis that they're trying to put on this, because it is for things that actually Partai couldn't do if they didn't have money coming in through the foundation. Is that correct?
That is absolutely correct, Dennis. And they do have a foundation board that works tirelessly, to help them as well. And they see the worst of the worst for people. And so many times people can't travel, they're homebound, and the smallest thing just means the world to them. And I know as a woman myself, just a wig would help your self-esteem so many times. And we're happy to be able to help.
Yeah, we're real fortunate in a town this size that we have an institution like Partai, where they can get treatment here without having to travel miles and miles away to some other location. I've always thought that was something that obviously you never want to use it, and I've had family members that have used it, and I'm sure you have too.
Yes.
But it is as tough as cancer treatment can be for the individuals and their families. If they can stay local and not have to put a burden of travel, it helps a little bit.
Yes.
Would you not agree?
I totally agree, and not only for the patient, but for the caregiver as well.
Yes, very much so. We got about 5 minutes, so let's talk a little bit more about the event.
Okay.
Let's get into kind of your cost and how everything's going to go there. All
right. We do still have openings. When I checked this morning, we have about 54 teams signed up to play, and it is a 2-man two-person four-ball tournament, and it's men, women, mixed teams, everything. We haven't always had a lot of women in the past, but we certainly welcome them, and so we don't want to call it a two-man scramble. It's a two-person four-ball. It is here at the Harrison Country Club, and once again, the practice round is September the 22nd from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. at the Country Club. Following that practice round, we'll have a reception on the deck up at the Country Club with some gumbo and some live music from the Dan Benton Band. Then on the 22nd and 23rd, those are the actual, 23rd and 24th are the actual tournament days. That's Saturday and Sunday, also at the Harrison Country Club with tee-off times at 8:30 and 1 o'clock.
Yes.
So if you need to register, just give me a call at 743-3200. I can email you a registration form or fax you one or run it by to you, whatever you need me to do. It is a $300 entry fee per team, so $150 per person, which includes breakfast and lunch both days. We also have a goodie bag for you with tea prizes in there that value about $85.
Wow.
This year we're kind of going with the Jordan Spieth or Spieth, however you say his name, Spieth theme with the Under Armour jacket and the Under Armour hat. So we've got some really nice giveaways.
Well, and I must tell you, I've played in a lot of golf tournaments in my life, and they probably, of all the tournaments around locally in this region, their gift bag is by far the best. I mean, if you're thinking about it, you're paying $150 to play. You're getting meals twice, 2 different days. You're getting entertainment now, but you're getting a giveaway bag that's got almost $100 worth of product in it. So, and then if you think about the cause, it's actually going to it's a great value, if you want to use the word value, for the event. Did want to mention one thing. I think if somebody wants to pick up a form and you don't remember Marcia's phone number or don't want to get online, the Harrison Country Club Pro Shop, they have forms there.
Correct.
And they can go sign up there.
They sure can.
With the pro. The only other thing that I would mention is for those people that may not know what a two-person four-ball is, it's actually 2 people play their own ball and they count the lowest score on each hole. So you're playing regular golf. It's not like a scramble or something. You're playing your own ball and you count the lowest score for each hole that you play. So,
Thank you for explaining that.
No
problem. I appreciate
that. The only other thing I would mention that is very important to the country club, because they are working this in with their regular membership. If you want to practice on Friday, it is free, even though if you don't have to be a member of the country club, you do need to call in and get a tee time.
Correct.
They ask that you do that way, keep everybody organized.
Yes.
They have a lot of people that like to practice.
Sure.
That maybe haven't played there before or from out of town.
Yes.
And they get a lot of out-of-town people that come in for this. So it was, like I say, it's the 3rd year that they have had this event. It's one of the premier tournaments at the Harrison Country Club, and I can't even emphasize the fact that it goes for a great cause, and the fee for what you get is very reasonable, actually less than other clubs that they charge. So
a great value.
And a great value. We'll use that value word. Marcia, as always, it's a pleasure to see you.
Thank you, Dennis.
I'm glad that you're doing this because Marcia, I got to tell you, I've known her for many, many years. Everything she ever did when she was at NARMC was first class. She is a hard worker, and she will make this their best tournament for the 3rd year.
Thank you so much, Dennis.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that.
And anything we can do to help, obviously, we will. And we appreciate you being on the show.
Thank
Don't
you.
forget about it, putting in the pink. And the pink is the key there. It goes to the Parteye Foundation to help with cancer cure for things that they don't have the funding to do. And it's a wonderful tournament, a lot of fun, a lot of activities going on, music, food, and festivities for all, women, children, and adults, whatever. It doesn't matter. Don't forget about the date, 22nd, 23rd, 24th. Actually, 23rd and 24th is the 2-day tournament. Go by and sign up. Marsh, thank you so much again. We appreciate it. Good luck. More money than you've ever raised before.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us on Connection this week. We appreciate it. We'll see you again next time.
KTKO Channel 8 Harrison. Local